Hi there, this is Mitch Lyons for the Lions Share podcast. This is our Lions on Lions final episode where I analyze the Detroit Lions, and they are coming off their last game yesterday against the Chicago Bears. They won 19-16, attempting to knock the Bears out of the second seed, but the Bears were able to hang on to that anyway because the Eagles lost. So let's just kind of look at the game or the season as a whole. Nice win. I thought it said something to the character of the guys playing yesterday that they came out in a hostile environment in Chicago, raucous crowd. They obviously were playing for something, the second seed, so they were playing everybody. And guys like Goff and Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown came out. They played and played well. It's kind of frustrating because the defense actually played pretty well, and it's been such an up and down year defensively. You look at some of the other games where they couldn't stop anybody. It was a frustrating year, and really you could see it early on, as early as the first game, Green Bay. Both lines I thought got dominated pretty well by the Packers. That should have been our first signal, I guess, that there might be trouble in paradise. But we bounced back that second game and blew out the Bears and won a few in a row and all appeared well. And then, about sixth, seventh game, things started turning around. So I want to kind of give my take on what I thought the main issue was. I think the biggest issue between last year going 15-2 and this year wasn't so much the defense, because the defense wasn't great last year at times. I thought the offense bailed the defense out a lot of games by scoring a lot of points. And this year, while we still had a pretty decent offense, we didn't protect Jared Goff anywhere near as well as we have the last couple of years. For as effective at times as our running game was, we have a couple running backs that are phenomenal, Jamir Gibbs and David Montgomery. But there were times where we just couldn't run the ball effectively. When you can't run the ball, you can't run play action. It puts a lot of pressure on the line, and that just didn't hold up. Frank Ragnow retiring in June obviously was the first setback, but so you had to kick Graham Glasgow over to center, and then you had two young kids playing starting guards. Decker's dinged up as he always is at left tackle. He may be retiring, so we'll see. Penei Sewell got dinged up a little bit too, didn't play yesterday. So we had a lot of people moving in and out at line, and it just didn't hold up. And it's not all the line. There's times with the tight ends or a back misses a block. But the bottom line is Goff faced a lot more pressure than he had seen in the last couple of years. And I know a lot of people say, oh, I wish he was more mobile so he could avoid people. And I get it. But he's also a top 10 quarterback and one of the most accurate passers in the NFL. And I think he's functional enough moving around. He moves around in the pocket, as needed. But yeah, he's not going to be, Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes and outrun people and shake people. But he's good enough to win with, and that's my opinion. So offensively, the line, and then the other thing that really hurt us, Sam Laporta, and I don't think people realized, and I didn't even realize just how much that would hurt us with all the weapons we have. I thought, and I think if the line was decent, we could have overcome that. But Laporta kind of became Goff's security blanket, and you really saw his targets go up as the year progressed. And when he went out, and then consequently subsequently, I should say, Brock Wright went out the next game. We're down to our third and fourth tight ends. And so that was problematic, and that security blanket was gone. So offensively, Jamir Gibbs, outstanding talent. I would have liked to seen times. We talked about it earlier. They talked about it early on in the camp about playing Montgomery and Gibbs. We didn't see that a lot at all. Maybe some Wildcat stuff, but just felt like maybe Montgomery was underutilized a little bit. And I get it because Gibbs is an elite talent, but I would have liked to seen David Montgomery touched the ball a little more than he did. I would have liked to seen JMO. He did towards the end of the year. He got the ball more, but I thought he'd be more of a difference maker all year. Didn't see that. I'd also like to see Isaac Tesla get the ball more. When he did get the ball, he made things happen. So, and defensively, again, another year where just injuries decimated him. You lost both safeties, Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch to injury. You lost Terrion Arnold. Jury's still out on him, how good he could be. But the bottom line is just a lot of attrition on the defensive side of the ball, lack of pressure on the quarterback. I know Hutch had 14 and a half sacks, but we've got to get somebody else that can pressure the quarterback on a consistent basis. And so that's a place through free agency or the draft, I think we need to look to upgrade. Offensive or going back to offense and defense, the coordinators, I think Calvin Shepard will survive. I think just with the injuries, I think he's pretty well liked and well respected. I think the injuries really hurt our defense. Offensively, obviously, John Morton probably is not going to be back. I don't want to see Dan Campbell calling plays. I think this is a very attractive job for anybody looking for an offensive coordinator position. I don't think he's going to have a hard time getting people to raise their hand to want to come coach the skill players that we have on this team. So that's a plus. Looking ahead to next year, I think this is a classic example of a good team has a bad year. I think Lions bounce back. They make the playoffs next year. I don't really care if they win the division. I just want them to get in the playoffs and be relatively healthy and playing their best ball. That's what I said all season from the beginning of this season. I didn't care if they had home field advantage because we've blown it in the past. We lose more games at home than we do on the road, it seems. So I just wanted them to be playing good ball when they got to the playoffs. They've got enough talent to win games, as we saw yesterday in Chicago. Even with a depleted line, they were able to beat the number 2 seed in the NFC. So I look for them to bounce back. That's my hot take, if you will. I don't think there's any reason to think this team can't win that division. The Bears had 6 games this year. They won in the last 2 minutes. I'll tip my cap to them. They made the place to do that, but they lived a bit of a charmed life. Had some things go their way. There's not that big a difference between them and the Detroit Lions sitting at 9-8 and fourth place in the division. So now that's the good thing. They get a fourth place schedule next year versus a first place schedule. That should help. We get some guys back from injury. We've got to make some pickups in my mind on the offensive defensive line in free agency. I mean, I'm all about drafting talented kids, but let's get some guys that are proven to some extent. I know there's a salary cap you got to work around, but we've got to get an impact player on both sides of the ball there, in my opinion, on the line. And if they do that, I think this team can bounce back. So that's my take. I'd be curious to get your thoughts as well. But hey, if you enjoyed this throughout the year, talking about the Lions, hit subscribe. This episode always brought to you by MitchLionsWealth.com. You can go to our site there or go to our YouTube page, Mitch Lions Wealth, the Lions Share YouTube page for tons of content, family, faith, football, finance, and fun. And check us out. Join us. Go to MitchLionsWealth.com. Sign up for our newsletter. Get my book. Get my movie. A lot of free resources there. Appreciate you listening all year, and look forward to bringing a 2026 season where hopefully, finally, the Lions can reach the Super Bowl and hopefully hoist that trophy. All right. Take care. God bless everybody.